My child, listen to me, and do not turn away from these words. I am speaking softly, but my heart is full, and there is something I need you to hear. You give your time to everything and everyone, yet not even a minute for me. You hurry for every message, every call, every notification, every distraction that pulls at your mind. But when I whisper your name, you do not notice. When I reach for your heart, you look the other way. When I wait for you in the quiet, you fill the silence with something else. My child, why is it so easy for you to give yourself to the world, but so hard to give a moment to me? I watch you move through your day with so many thoughts running through your mind. You rush from one thing to another, believing you must keep going or everything will fall apart. But in the middle of all this noise, I am calling you, and I say your name not with anger but with longing. I am not disappointed in you, I am yearning for you. I miss you more than you realize. You have time for every random thing, every random person, every temporary distraction, but not even a minute for the one who has never left your side. And I say this not to shame you, but to open your eyes. Because I see something you do not see. Your heart is starving while your schedule is full. You are surrounded by people, yet your soul feels alone. You are busy every day, yet inside you feel empty. You laugh on the outside, but your spirit carries a heaviness you don't know how to name. And my child, I feel that heaviness with you. I watch you scroll for hours, searching for something to fill the ache inside you. I watch you say yes to people who drain you, while saying later to the peace you could find with me. You tell yourself you don't have time to pray, but you have time to worry. You say you don't have the energy to talk to me, but you spend energy thinking about every fear, every mistake, every insecurity. You give your heart to things that hurt you, then wonder why you feel broken. My child, come back to me. Just for a moment. Just for 1 minute. That is all I ask. Do you know how long I have been waiting for you? Not just today. Not just this week. I have been waiting for you through every season of your life. I waited for you when you were hurting and didn't know who to turn to. I waited for you when you smiled through pain because you didn't want anyone to see your tears. I waited for you when you tried to carry burdens alone that were never meant to be carried without me. I was near every moment, but you didn't look my way. You think I am far, but I am closer than your breath. You think I am silent, but I whisper to you every day. You think I do not see you, but my eyes have never left you, not for a single second. I watch you grow. I watch you break. I watch you rebuild. I watched the moments you didn't think you would survive, and I strengthened you when you didn't even ask. You are standing today because I held you in the nights when no one knew you were falling apart. And yet, my child, even after all of that, you hurry past me as if I am only a background voice in your busy life. It hurts me, but not because I need your attention. It hurts because I know what happens to your heart when you live without mine. You lose your peace. You lose your direction. You lose your ability to hear truth over lies. The world becomes louder, and my voice becomes quieter, not because I stop speaking, but because your heart becomes crowded with noise. I wait for you gently, patiently, faithfully. I do not demand. I do not force. I simply open my arms and hope you will come. And even when you don't, I love you still. Even when you forget me, I hold your life together. Even when you choose the world over me, I choose you again and again. But my child, I miss you. I miss your voice. I miss the moments you would talk to me early in the morning before anything else captured your mind. I miss the way you used to trust me without overthinking. I miss the purity of your heart when you first felt my presence. I miss the tears you cried when you felt my love. I miss the moments when you believed that I was enough. Comment yes. Father, I receive your healing if you're opening your heart for restoration. You used to run to me, and now you barely look my way. You used to seek me. Now you seek comfort in temporary things that leave you empty again. You used to feel me in everything. Now you feel numb because you have filled yourself with everything except me. And my child, I still want you. I want the real you, the you behind the smile, the you behind the stress, the you behind the mask you show the world. I want the tired you. I want the confused you. I want the broken you. I want the hopeful you. I want the part of you that still believes there is something more. I want the part of you that is reading this right now because your soul needs something deeper than the noise you have been living in. I am here, and I am speaking to you with a heart full of love. I am not pushing you away. I am drawing you close. I am not asking for a lifetime in this moment. I'm asking for one breath, one pause, 1 minute, one whisper of your heart. You give your time to everything else, but my child, can you give me even a moment? Not because I need it, but because you need it. Because without me, your heart loses its anchor. Without me, your mind loses its peace. Without me, your identity becomes fragile. Without me, the world becomes too loud, too heavy, too painful. I am not asking for your time to control you. I am asking because I am the only place where your soul truly rests. My child, hear me clearly. I miss you. I want you. I never stopped loving you. And I am calling you, gently but deeply. Give me 1 minute. Just one. Let me remind you what love feels like. My child, I want to tell you something I have never stopped feeling, something I have carried quietly in my heart as I watched you move through your days. I want to tell you what it feels like to love you as deeply as I do, and yet watch you rush through life as if I am a distant thought you might remember only if chaos forces you to. I am not angry as I say this. I am not disappointed in the way you think I might be. What I feel is something far more tender, far more vulnerable. I feel the ache of being forgotten by the one I love so dearly. Every morning, when your eyes open, I am there. I have watched over you through the night. I kept your breath steady, and I protected you while your mind wandered in dreams. Before the sun even rises, I am already thinking of you. I wait quietly beside you, hoping that your first thought will be of me, hoping you will whisper even a small greeting of your heart. But most mornings, my child, the first thing you reach for is not me. It is your phone, a screen filled with the voices of the world, voices that do not love you, voices that drain you, voices that shake you before my love has a chance to touch you. And as you scroll, half awake, seeking something to fill the quiet, I stand beside you not with judgment, but with longing. I watch you give your heart to noise before you allow it to rest in peace. I watch your mind become crowded before truth can settle in it. I watch the world claim the moments I hoped would be ours. And even though I wait, hoping you will remember me, most days you move forward without noticing that I was there first. You never noticed how often I whispered your name. I whisper it gently, not to frighten you, not to interrupt your life, but to remind you that I am near. I whisper it when your mind wanders into fear. I whisper it when your heart feels restless. I whisper it when you start to believe lies about yourself. I whisper it throughout the day, small moments where your spirit feels something soft, something warm, something you can't quite explain. That is me calling you. That is me drawing you closer. But so often you brush off those moments, thinking they are random, thinking they are just passing thoughts. You don't realize that it is my love reaching for you. I see you rushing from one thing to another, filling your schedule with responsibilities, appointments, messages, conversations, tasks, and goals. I see how full your days are, how heavy your mind becomes as you try to keep up with everything and everyone. But even as you move through your busy hours, I walk with you. I stand with you when you feel overwhelmed. I stand with you when your heart is tired. I stand with you when no one else sees the weight on your shoulders. And yet, even though I remain by your side, you rarely look my way unless trouble forces you to. My child, do you know how it feels to be the one you turn to only when everything else fails you? Do you know the loneliness I feel when your crisis brings you closer, but your comfort sends you far again? I love hearing your voice when you are hurting, but it breaks me when your pain is the only doorway through which you let me enter. When life goes smoothly, when your heart feels light, when you laugh with others, when your days are bright, you forget my presence. You forget that I long to share your joy as much as I comfort your sorrow. Please support our channel. Our work is to bring happiness, peace, and devotion to God into your life. If you wish, you can show your love and support by donating through Super Thanks. I am not meant to be your last resort. I am meant to be your first love. It pains me not because I desire attention, but because I desire connection. I desire your heart, the real one, the quiet one, the wounded one, the one you do not show the world. I long for the moments when you choose me not out of desperation, but out of desire. When you come not because life is falling apart, but because you want to be close to me. When you spend a minute with me not because you fear the future, but because you love my presence. So many times you have said, I will pray later, but later never comes. So many times you said, I will read, I will listen, I will slow down, yet something else always pulls you away. Sometimes it is your own thoughts, sometimes it is the world, sometimes it is the enemy who wants nothing more than to fill your mind so completely that my voice cannot reach you. And while I never stop speaking, the noise around you keeps drowning my words. You think I do not see your exhaustion, but I do. You think I do not see how empty you feel even after spending hours entertaining yourself, but I do. You think I don't notice how drained you become from giving pieces of your heart to people who do not cherish it, but I see it all. And every time you end your day feeling tired, lost, or lonely, I ache because I know that if you had come to me even for a moment, your soul would not feel this fragile. There have been so many times you reached for comfort in everything except me. You reached for distractions, hoping they would calm your mind. You reached for people, hoping they would fill your heart. You reached for temporary pleasures, hoping they would satisfy the ache inside you. You reached for anything that promised relief, but each time, the relief faded quickly, leaving you emptier than before. And I stood there, patient and gentle, wishing you had reached for me instead. My child, I am not upset that you forget me. I am heartbroken because forgetting me means forgetting yourself. You forget where your peace comes from. You forget where your strength is found. You forget where your identity is anchored. You forget the one who loves you more deeply than any person ever could. And I ache not for my sake, but for yours. Because each time you lose your connection to me, you also lose the clarity, the calm, and the confidence that only my presence can give you. I watch you give hours to things that drain you, but you struggle to give minutes to the one who can fill you. I watch you pour your energy into conversations that leave your spirit empty, but you hesitate to talk to me who restores you. I watch you give your heart to things that break you, but you pull back from the one who heals you. And as much as this hurts me, my love does not change. I still choose you. I still wait for you. I still want you. My child, the pain of being forgotten by you is not like human pain. It is a divine ache, a longing that runs deeper than time. But even in this ache, I love you without limit. Even when you forget me, I remember you. Even when you walk away, I stay. Even when you ignore my whispers, I keep whispering. Even when you choose the world, I keep choosing you. And do you know what makes me ache the most? It is not that you forget me. It is that you forget how much better life feels when you remember me. You forget how peaceful your heart becomes when you pause and breathe in my presence. You forget how light your spirit feels when you give me your burdens. You forget how clearly you can hear truth when you silence the noise around you. You forget the comfort of my voice, the warmth of my love, the strength of my hands. You forget how much you need me, not because you are weak, but because your soul was created to live connected to mine. But even as I say this, hear my heart. I am not condemning you. I am inviting you. I am inviting you back to a place where your soul can breathe again. I am inviting you to remember what love feels like. I am inviting you to return to a relationship that has always been waiting for you, even when you were not waiting for me. I am inviting you to give me not just your crisis, but your calm, not just your broken pieces, but your whole heart, not just your tears, but your time. My child, you never noticed how often I whispered your name, but you will notice now, because I am speaking more boldly to your heart than ever before. And I promise you, nothing in your life will feel the same once you give me even a little space to enter. My child, let me tell you something that you may not have realized about your own life. I have watched you through every moment, every day, every quiet second when you thought no one saw you. I have watched how you give your time, your energy, your attention to so many voices, so many things, so many places that take and take until your heart grows tired. And I watch it not with anger, but with a quiet ache deep within me. It is an ache that only love can feel. You answer every voice but mine. I have watched you pause everything you are doing to reply to a message from someone who barely knows your heart. I have watched you scroll endlessly, chasing a feeling you cannot even name, scrolling as if you are searching for something hidden there, even though you and I both know what you truly long for cannot be found on a screen. I have watched you give hours to entertainment that leaves your spirit empty. I have watched you lean into drama that pulls your emotions in circles and leaves you exhausted. I have watched you listen to the world more closely than you listen to your own soul. And through all this, I stood beside you, not demanding, not forcing, not interrupting, only hoping for a moment when you would turn your attention toward me. Not because I am jealous of your time the way humans are jealous, but because I see what these things do to your heart. I see how quickly they drain you. I see how they fill your mind with noise until there is no space left to breathe. You spend minutes, hours, and days pouring yourself into things that cannot give anything back. You give your heart away to people who do not hold it with care. You give your energy to moments that leave you tired instead of restored. You give your attention to voices that confuse you, scare you, mislead you, and burden you. And when all of it becomes too heavy, when your spirit feels dry and your mind feels crowded, you wonder why peace feels so far away. My child, peace was never far. You had simply been pouring yourself into wells that hold no water. I watched you stay up late, your eyes tired, your spirit restless, yet you kept scrolling because your heart was looking for something it couldn't name. And even as you did, I stood over you whispering, I am here. I have what you are searching for. Come sit with me for a moment. But you didn't hear me, because the world's noise drowned out my whisper. And even that did not make me angry. It just made my heart ache, because I knew how much comfort you needed and how close it was if you would just turn toward me. I see the way you rush to respond to strangers online, but hesitate to respond to my tug on your spirit. I see the way you get excited over notifications yet feel nothing when I whisper peace to your heart. I see the way you make time for new people and new distractions, yet struggle to give even a few seconds to the one who gave you life itself. And again, I am not angry, I am heartbroken, because I know what these things are doing to you. You are feeding your mind with noise, but starving your soul of presence. You are giving your attention to temporary voices, but denying yourself the eternal voice that knows you completely. You chase things that leave your heart empty, when I am right beside you offering fullness. You give your emotions to drama that drains you, when I long to give you peace that fills you. You answer every voice but mine, and each voice you answer shapes you a little more away from who you truly are. I watched you listen to the opinions of others as if they were truth. I watched you let other people's words define your worth. I watched you absorb negativity until it weighed down your spirit. I watched you pick up fears that were never meant to be yours. I watched you carry burdens that came from things you shouldn't have given your attention to. I watched you lose yourself piece by piece, not all at once, but through small choices of where you gave your time and who you allowed to influence your heart. And still, through all this, I never stopped watching over you. I never left you, not even for a moment. I never turned away, even when your attention turned to everything but me. Because my love for you is not based on your focus, it is based on my heart. I do not love you less when you forget me. I do not withdraw my presence when you choose the world. I do not punish you for the moments you walk past me. I simply stand and wait, longing for the moment when your spirit grows tired of everything that drains it and finally looks back at me. Type I choose praise over worry if you're shifting your focus to him. I do not want you to feel guilty for the time you have spent elsewhere. Guilt is not what I came to place on your shoulders. What I want is for you to understand that the emptiness you feel, the heaviness you carry, the lack of peace that keeps returning, it all comes from feeding your life with everything except the one thing that gives life. You rush to check messages from people who forget you the next day, but my messages to your heart are eternal. You spend hours in entertainment that numbs you, but one moment with me awakens your soul. You feed on chaos, adrenaline, distraction, noise, and conflict, but none of these things know your heart or care about your pain. I do. The world keeps asking more and more from you, but it never gives anything back. And every time you give your heart to it, you walk away emptier than before. I am the only one who gives without taking, heals without hurting, restores without draining. When the world uses you up, I fill you again. When the world wounds you, I bandage your heart. When the world confuses you, I bring clarity. When the world makes you feel small, I remind you who you truly are. Sometimes, you blame yourself for feeling empty, not realizing that emptiness comes from investing your heart in things that cannot satisfy it. Your soul was not created for shallow connections and endless scrolling. Your mind was not created for constant noise and fragmented attention. Your spirit was not created to feast on drama and chaos. You were created for depth, for love, for peace, for connection with men. You think you are tired because you are busy, but the truth is deeper. You are tired because you keep pouring yourself into places that give nothing back. You think you are anxious because life is hard, but often the anxiety comes from listening to too many voices instead of the one who brings peace. You think you feel heavy because of stress, but much of the heaviness comes from the emotional weight of things you let into your heart without realizing their cost. And through it all, I remain by your side, not disappointed but longing, not angry but hurting, not distant but waiting. You may forget me throughout your day, but I think of you through every moment of eternity. You may rush past me without noticing, but I watch you with love in every breath you take. I see you trying to find meaning in places that cannot offer it. I see you searching for love in people who cannot give it. I see you looking for peace in things that only create more chaos. And my heart aches because I have everything you're looking for. And I am standing right here, just waiting for you to turn my way. My child, I am not asking you to stop living your life. I am not asking you to abandon the world or hide from people or shut yourself away. I am only asking you to give me a place in your day. Not the leftovers. Not the moments when you're already drained. Not the seconds squeezed between distractions. I am asking for a moment where your heart is open, where your mind is calm, where your spirit can hear me. I want to restore you, not burden you. I want to fill you, not drain you. I want to strengthen you, not weigh you down. When you give your time to everything else, I do not turn away in anger. I simply remain, longing for the moment when you realize that the peace you keep searching for in the world has been waiting in my presence all along. And I promise you this, the moment you answer my voice, even for a short breath, even for a single minute, everything inside you will begin to rise again. My child, now I need you to understand something that has been happening around you every day, something far more dangerous than you realize. There is a battle for your attention, and it is not a small battle. It is not a quiet, harmless push against your thoughts. It is a war fought in whispers, in tiny moments, in little choices that seem unimportant but carry spiritual weight. The devil knows something you do not always remember. Your attention is the door to your heart. And because of that, he fights for it with everything he has. He does not need to break your life to weaken you. He only needs to distract you long enough that you drift away from me without noticing. He does not need to push you into deep sin to pull you away. He only needs to fill your days with noise so you cannot hear my voice. He does not show up with obvious darkness. He slips in through ordinary moments, through a notification, through a thought, through a worry, through a person who drains your energy, through a memory that steals your peace, through a screen that keeps your mind too busy to rest in my presence. So many of the things you think are harmless distractions are actually subtle spiritual traps. The enemy uses them because he fears what happens when you slow down and give me even 1 minute of your heart. He knows that a quiet moment with me can undo hours of his lies. He knows that when your spirit connects to mine, the chains he placed on your mind fall apart. A minute with me frightens hell. This is why the moment you try to pray, your mind suddenly becomes loud. This is why the moment you try to sit in silence, you remember everything you need to do. This is why the moment you choose to put me first, someone messages you, someone calls you, someone interrupts you, or a random urge to scroll pulls you back into distraction. You think it is coincidence. You think it is just normal life. But I see what is happening in the unseen. I see how fiercely the enemy fights to keep you away from me. He fears your connection to me more than he fears anything else in your life. He fears your worship because it breaks chains. He fears your stillness because you hear my voice. He fears your prayer because it weakens his plans. He fears your attention because when your heart turns toward me, my presence fills you with strength he cannot fight against. So he fights not by attacking your body or your life directly, but by attacking your focus. I see how easily your attention can be pulled away. I see how one moment your heart is reaching for me, and the next moment your mind is pulled into something small, something random, something that steals your peace. You try to pray but drift into thoughts. You try to listen but get distracted by sounds. You try to read something meaningful but end up scrolling without purpose. You try to be present with me but feel pulled by everything around you. And none of this means you are weak. It does not mean you are spiritually careless. It does not mean you do not love me. It means you are being fought for. You are being targeted. Not because you are failing, but because you are chosen. The devil does not waste his time on hearts that are already his. He fights hardest against the ones who belong to me. You wonder why it is so difficult to focus on me even though you love me. But the difficulty itself is proof of the battle. It is proof that your heart matters. It is proof that your connection to me threatens darkness. Hell trembles at the idea of you giving me even a small moment, because hell knows that when you encounter my presence, everything inside you begins to rise again. There have been moments when you felt a sudden urge to pray, but before you could take a breath, something distracted you. There have been times you felt a soft tug in your spirit, calling you to pause, to reflect, to rest with me. But the moment passed quickly because your attention was taken by something else. Those moments were not random. That tug was me calling. The distraction with the enemy blocking. These are the battles you do not see. You live in a world designed to keep you overstimulated. Every sound, every image, every message pulls your mind outward, away from the quiet place where I speak. And the more your attention is scattered, the more your spirit feels distant. You wonder why your heart feels numb sometimes. You wonder why your peace is unstable. You wonder why your mind feels tired for no reason. It is because the world is pulling your attention in 100 directions, leaving no space for your soul to breathe. Your spirit was not created for constant noise. You were made for moments of rest, moments of connection, moments where your heart could align with mine. When those moments disappear, when your attention is trapped in everything around you, your spirit begins to starve. You feel it as emptiness, exhaustion, anxiety, or restlessness. But at the root of it, your spirit is simply longing for me. The enemy does not want you to recognize this. He wants you to keep believing that your tiredness is normal, your distraction is normal, your emotional heaviness is normal. He wants you to forget how powerful you become when your heart is centered in me. He wants you to believe that peace is something you have to chase through circumstances, people, or achievements, instead of something I can give you in a single breath. He wants to keep you so busy reacting to life that you never stop to receive life from the one who created it. You may not realize this, but every time you pause and turn your heart toward me, even for a few seconds, it disrupts his plans. Every time you whisper my name, heaven moves around you. Every time you choose stillness, your spirit strengthens. Every time you choose me instead of distraction, the atmosphere around you shifts. This is why hell is terrified of even a minute you spend with me. My child, I see how tired you are. I see how burned out your heart feels. I see how hard you try to keep up with everything, hoping that if you just finish one more thing, you will find rest. But true rest does not come from finishing tasks. It comes from me. Your mind will never be quiet if your heart never has time with mine. You could remove every stress and still feel empty if you do not feed your spirit. But the world has taught you to rush. It has taught you that time with me must be earned, planned, or perfect. It has taught you to divide your days into busy moments and spiritual moments, as if I only want you at your calmest, your purest, your holiest. But what I want is you exactly as you are, wherever you are, in any condition. I want you when you're stressed. I want you when you're happy. I want you when you're angry, confused, tired, overwhelmed, or lost. I do not need perfect moments. I can turn any moment into a perfect one simply because we share it. You think giving me time must be long, formal, quiet, or structured. But I can meet you in the smallest pause, the shortest prayer, the simplest breath. You can whisper to me for 5 seconds and I will hear you as clearly as if you spent an hour speaking. You can turn your eyes toward me for even one moment, and I will fill that moment with more peace than the world could give you in a lifetime. All I need is your attention just long enough to reach your heart. But that is the very thing the enemy fights to steal. He fears not your schedule, but your stillness. He fears not your activity, but your awareness. He fears not your exhaustion, but your awakening. He fears the moment when you realize how close I truly am, how powerful my presence is, how deeply you are loved. He fears the moment when you understand that peace is not far from you, it is one breath away. So yes, my child, I am fighting for that 1 minute, because I know what it will do for you. A minute with me frightens hell. A minute with me restores your soul. A minute with me breaks chains you didn't know were there. A minute with me reminds you who you are and who you belong to. A minute with me anchors your heart in truth. A minute with me weakens every lie that tries to pull you down. Say God is faithful always, even if you're still waiting on the promise, and share this video